I'm reading from the NLP Oracle deck. I just got this deck. It's really pretty, lots of cool art, and NLP is really fantastic. For those of you who do not know what that is, that's Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And Neuro-Linguistic Programming is essentially, it was about interviewing all these people who had success with different things, maybe moving out of trauma, just success in their business, in their career, in their mindset, and finding the best techniques, and then the ones that worked for the most people that became part of the NLP framework. So it's really just like really effective tips and tricks for kind of reprogramming our internal world. All right, Spirit, what message do you have for this collective? These messages come through on the frequencies of the highest wisdom and unconditional love. Spirit, what message do you have for this collective today? Please give us a card or two. I just did a reading and so many cards flew out. Okay, what do we got here? Cause or effect? Are you the cause of your experiences, actively shaping your life, or at the effect where life happens to you? This card invites you to shift from victim to creator by taking responsibility for the causes you set in motion. Step into the driver's seat and shape the outcomes you desire. Okay, this is super powerful. One of my first videos that I made for this channel is about our superhuman power, or human superpower, the power of choice. And even if in the reflection, it could be anything from our health, our body, all the way out into our relationships, our career, our finances, our home, whatever it might be, we have a choice over our attitude. We have a choice on how we want to look at life. We actually have a choice about how we want to feel. It's not necessarily like what I'm hearing is to force yourself to like a situation or something like that, but we can broaden our perspective, and we can broaden it in such a way that we can shift and we can choose the way we are going to look at something, right? If we get too myopic, like most humans in like the 3D matrix, when we get too myopic, it's going to stress us out. And then fear, false evidence appearing as real, is going to take over. But if we get the broadest perspective, we're starting to see through the eyes of spirit and hearing, and we're going to feel better. We're going to be thinking more like our higher self. Okay? Yes. And then, yeah, what Spirit's saying now is this line about, is it life happening to you, or is it life happening for you? The way Spirit sees everything is that life is happening for us. This whole experience is for us. Okay, I know many of you know this, but for some reason, maybe there's a few of us who just need this like gentle reminder. Everything here is happening for us. We chose to come here. This is like a beautiful mastery program. And really, I feel like the ones who come here, those of us who are here, I mean, which is all of humanity, we are like the ballsiest in the universe or in the multiverse, because we are going into the densest parts of reality. We agree to go into crazy programming. It's almost like we're olive oil, and if we were all salad dressing, we agree to become vinegar, and we agree to take it on, lay it on really thick, and then we say to ourselves, we're going to break through. We're going to remember who we are, and it doesn't matter what programming there is. It doesn't matter what society says. It doesn't matter what upbringing we had. We're going to follow our hearts. We're going to read our intuition. We're going to hone our discernment, and we are going to break through, darn it. And the key to that is remembering that all of this is for you. And if we choose that it's happening to us, that puts us automatically in a disempowered state. And if we say we are choosing this, and I have the power of choice how I want to look at this, then all of a sudden we put ourselves in an empowered state. Of course, you got to buy into that, but I think metaphysics really, really helps, because on the quantum level, the observer effect is always in effect. And when we choose this is happening for us, we're actually selecting quantum realities that are bridging to a reflection that is going to show us and give us the evidence that what we subscribe to, that things are happening for us, it will look like that. That's exactly the evidence we're going to get. And actually, that's the reality. The reality is all of this is for us. This beautiful, I mean, it's a little bit like a haunted house sometimes. I mean, it gets a little crazy down here, but it's really a refinement. It's like an opportunity for an experience. I mean, what else do we have to do for eternity? We come to experience, but then we also refine ourselves Because what better way to refine yourself when you're moving against the grain? Like the against the grain meaning society and, you know, typical ways of thinking and whatever's been passed down. When you say, hey, wait a second, that doesn't feel right to me, and you move in a different direction anyway, it doesn't even make any logical sense, but you're following your heart. And now I'm being called to just mention like what Steve Jobs said once. He was like, you know, you'll connect the dots later, but follow your joy, like follow what lights you up. Before he dropped out of school and before he started Apple Computers, you know, in his parents' garage or wherever that was, he decided to take one class that actually interested him. Is that English? That actually was of interest to him, and that was calligraphy. And he took the calligraphy class, and then he dropped out. And then he said later, he was like, that's what set Apple apart. You know, they actually had fonts for the first time ever. With computing, there were fonts, you know, besides the like bitmap kind of like text that there used to be. So, and then he said, you know, you'll connect the dots later. When you follow your heart and your interests and that which kind of lights you up, it's like a beautiful windy path, but it's destiny leading you to your destination, which is going to be fulfillment. We're here to pursue our value fulfillment. So that's the message for today. Step in the driver's seat. You've chosen your life. Everything that has come up, you have an opportunity to choose that it's happening for you, and you'll connect the dots later. But we move on that kind of trust, and we have so much help along the way. And, you know, people before like didn't know about quantum physics. We didn't know about the observer effect. I mean, yogis were talking about it, but, you know, it's like now we have a lot more evidence that this is the way things work. And not even that, we have millions and billions of people, you know, talking about NDEs, talking about the power of thought and all of these kinds of things. So I feel like it's easier than ever to kind of jump on board into a direction that really behooves us, that's really beneficial for us. And life can be a beautiful thing. It can be a beautiful thing. All right, if you like today's message, please like, subscribe, share, comment. I want to hear your thoughts down below. I'd love that. And if you're interested in coaching, intuitive readings, Akashic record readings in particular, or visionary art, you can find that in the description box below. And other than that, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next message.